My name's Gordon Foote, and I work in the offshore industry as part of the Merchant Navy on a global basis, working on offshore construction. I'm an engineer by trade, and I've done some previous academic work before, but took a few years to consider taking on a bigger challenge with the MBA at MLA College, and felt that it was right for me at my time in my career in a senior leadership position to do the MBA, and I chose out of 5 subjects with the MBA to do the maritime operations. Having reviewed the 5 subjects that were available on the MBA program, then I chose the MBA Maritime Operations, specifically because I could bring my research to fruition through that title, and the choice of title was your own, and this is where I contacted MLA College to discuss what it was I wished to achieve and the area of research that I wished to do, and it sat just so well within maritime operations. Of course, there are 4 other avenues that you could take, so if you're into being an entrepreneur within the maritime space, or finance, etc. There are avenues for you there as well. But yeah, my research was based purely on the fact that I've spent 4 decades in maritime operations, and my specific area or focus subject was in Merchant Navy training, that it fits so well. The start of my studies, I was allocated a supervisor, and it was really great because I'm quite sure they can't get somebody to supervise that knows you intimately, or your discipline or your trade or exactly what you do. But the match was really good because it was business orientated. I had someone in a supervisory role that was very business orientated. They did have some seafaring background through a member of their own families, so it wasn't completely alien to them. And best of all, really, they were friendly and professional. So the supervisor that I had made me aware that I could contact them at any time. My time zone, whether I was on a day shift or back shift, or I was plus 8 hours GMT, it was no issue. And the turnaround time was really good. So I understand there's a cohort, and that particular supervisor was going to be supervising other students on either my same cohort or ones that were similar, and they would be all in different time zones as well. So it was really good, and never 3 or 4 days would go by without a response coming back. If it was a complicated question that I might have asked, or one that needed some form of investigation, again, that supervisor had the backing of other academics within the MLA College group, so that there was always an answer forthcoming. But best of all, there was always like a second opinion or a second answer. And I did have some challenges, not least because I wanted to write so much and put across so much in my research. It was somebody watching over me to make sure that I stayed focused, the material and the research that I was doing was focused and important, and significantly that it was really up to date, and because my whole aim was to make a difference. Of the great many institutes, specifically within the UK, that might have offered me a distance learning program specifically for research and maritime based, like I was planning to undertake, and also the facets of the type of research I wanted to do, which was giving back to the maritime community, I approached MLA College to find out how their research was conducted, how specific they would be towards thinking how the mariner would be able to undertake their study whilst at sea. And it's not just in coastal waters, I operate globally, so I could be at any corner of the world in any sea or ocean, but would still need that connectivity with a supervisor as the research progresses, but more importantly, kicking off and starting that research. So having discussions with the staff here at MLA College was really good. So they understood the mariner, understood that I would be in different time zones, understood that I didn't always have good bandwidth for connectivity, and they produced and have run with all their courses now the TLP, which is the total learning package. So it's not media intensive, the seafarer only has to originally download at the very start of their course a small amount of data, and that creates on your device a portal then that you can access anytime that you wish. And within that portal is a whole variety of firstly, the study and research handbook that you need, which tells you what the requirements are, and specifically submission dates for parts of your course. But also there was a whole host of material that was what I felt was the backbone of what that portal was trying to produce for the learner. The TLP itself was the place to go to because everything was there all in one place. The modules were set out in an orderly fashion with regards the progress that you would be making within your research. Whenever I clicked onto it, it instantly opened. I had instant access to all those modules, the handbook, and all the supporting material I needed. So there was never a challenge or an issue from the IT side of things. And of course, when you're doing research, that's the last thing you need is another stress or another challenge on top of the work that you're already doing. So to know that there was one click and you were on the portal and it was all there for you. And the best of it was that you had control yourself with it. So if you were working with a particular module, you could work your way through that and then work on to the next module. But then a part of your research where you thought, oh yeah, I'd just like to refresh myself on that, or I could do with just going back, what was that lecturer actually saying when there? You know, that made something that resounded with you. There was no problem. You just clicked, went on the portal, went to that specific module, and then you can pick up within that module wherever you wanted to go. So really efficient. You weren't wasting time waiting for a whole video to replay or something. So yeah, that was really nice. So my whole career has been evolving around operations, and the MBA in Maritime Operations was really a way for me to give back to the seafaring and maritime community by doing a piece of research specifically on training and competence and what the future may hold for seafarers now that we're in a world thinking about autonomy, thinking about the UN SDGs and sustainability within the maritime. So a very hot topic conversationally within the maritime itself, but for me on a personal journey it was a way of investigating the future leadership and what the future holds for the future professional mariner. And of course training is going to be paramount with that. So although autonomy won't necessarily mean immediately the loss of all the seafaring jobs, it'll mean a change maybe in the technology or the way that we train seafarers, as some of those positions will be on land based, but the seafarer themselves must obviously have an intimate knowledge of what the aspects and the environment of working in the sea is. Practitioners and professionals that are doing this kind of research understand that they wish it to have purpose and to gain the knowledge, but also to share that knowledge. And an important facet, I believe, is to be able to share that knowledge. So the hard work that I put in doing this as a personal challenge, I'm going to share with the maritime community out there, and others can build upon that knowledge that I've gained, or more importantly, depending on the specifics and the topic that you've done, it can be put into good use straight away. So in my instance with regards to Merchant Navy training, I know there's a few recipients that are waiting on the culmination of my research so that they can have a good look at that, and it's quite a broad base, and it's specific to the UK. So those within the maritime associations, institutes, and those official bodies that are employed to ensure that the future professional mariner is trained correctly and to the right degree and for the right future technologies that are on the horizon now. It'll be really good for them. As a route of study for anyone in a maritime role, being it a seafarer, seagoing, or even support services from ports and onshore or legal even, or even entrepreneurs within the maritime space, then MLA College would always be recommended by myself, and I have done for the past few years, been recommended to colleagues. And what you have to also remember that there's just a fantastic amount of different disciplines within the maritime. So I work on project engineering type side, building offshore wind farms and that, so we get a whole host of different disciplines, whether it's hydrographic survey, from structural engineering, marine warranty surveyors, naval architects, from an engineering point of view, but they're all integral to the operations that's going on. On the other hand, you have the vessel itself. The ones I work on are heavy lift or crane vessels with 120 to 150 people on board. So the amount of different disciplines there is amazing. And the marine crew themselves, whether they're the chief officer or the cadet just joining, they may themselves think about lifelong learning, which I do, or continuous professional development. And some of those that have come through nautical science or marine colleges and that may have done a bachelor's degree in that. So a lot of them think about, at some time or some stage in their career, they might want to do a master's degree, and this is the perfect way of doing it because they don't have to upset their career path that they're doing to take time out to attend formally face-to-face and lectures within the university, but can consider an option like this where they can carry on working in their profession. It doesn't upset the balance in their career if it's a hierarchical career and they need to do certain hours or years of working with DP systems or working towards their chief mate's ticket or something like that. This is a way of doing higher education alongside that, whilst keep maintaining their career path and their earning ability, of course, being at sea. So yeah, I've recommended it to marine crew themselves, project crew, and a lot of affiliated those that are support services with seafarers. So yeah, it's a win-win situation really.